space. More importantly, it is part of the larger redevelopment of the historical Raisina area that has been taken up by the Modi government, but the opposition is unrelenting and not buying into it.
All right, now that you have understood the facts, friends, let's get going with our conversation. To defend the government, leans toward the right political analyst Deshratan Nigam, and giving us the Congress view, Shyam Prasad Meka. Seeing him after a long time, very welcome and good afternoon to you both. Let me begin with a qualification, which is that though I've been a regular to the parliament, I have not seen the latest arrangement. I have not visited the Prerna Sthal, so I can't really connect with the feel of the place now and the statue's place there. It has been developed as part of the larger redevelopment taking place across the Raisina Hill and below it. We have seen changes taking place, including the building of the new parliament, again, which was a matter of contention and debate, whether we should have it or not, whether we should have it at the same place or some other place. But then ultimately we have a spick and span, fantastic, tech-driven new parliament building. And in fact, already few sessions of the last parliament, the 17th Lok Sabha, have taken place there. And this relocation of as many as 15 statues of India's freedom stalwarts and leading politicians cutting across the political divide since independence in the post-independence history of India. They were placed at many places across parliament. Those familiar with pictures or those who have visited those places inside the parliament, they would have seen those statues, and in fact they were lifelike. They were huge statues and you felt inspired visiting them. Now with the statues moved to a new place, the opposition says this was not done properly and it's not inspiring. So whom should we begin with? Deshratan Nigam, because there is a clear opposition charge. So I would want to go to Shyam Prasad Meka first. And Shyam Prasad Meka, you get to open it. You are saying that process followed is not proper. Is it just about the process, or you are saying that the Prerna Sthal itself is not inspiring enough?
No, the simple thing is everybody wants the parliament, and parliament is a cauldron of ideas. And the other parties should have had a clue about before the administration made such a big decision. And also, it's a matter of taste. Okay, people can see it differently. But for me, bunching up all these statues at one place and saying, okay, people can get prerna from that place rather than visiting the statues scattered across the place, that doesn't cut much ice with me. And also, the statues, before they are moved, should have been, opposition parties should have been consulted, and that's a minimum courtesy the administration should have extended, rather than unilaterally bulldozing whatever they think is the right. And also, Parliament is not just about, Parliament should not just about the visitors. It's about all the parties, the ideas, the representatives of the people from the nook and corner of India. That's what is the Parliament mainly about. Oh yes, there will be visitors, that's fine, but the entire thing should not be from the visitors' perspective, but rather from the clash of ideas and ideals in the Indian Parliament.
Okay.
That should be.
Okay, Deshratan Nigam.
Yes,
process was not followed. The basic courtesy of consulting the opposition should have been done.
Well, Abhishek, in fact, the speaker has clearly pointed out and given the statement that all stakeholders were consulted. And coming from the speaker, you have to believe it because he's a non-partisan person. And clearly, and this decision was taking a long time back when the construction and everything of the new parliament had started and people were aware of it. To do politics on it now is something which is not required. And secondly, let me tell you, all the great leaders whose life we actually get inspired by, their life stories like Rani Kittur's Chennamma or Chhatrapati Shivaji or Sahu Maharaj, or for that matter, Maharaja Ranjit Singh or Maharana Pratap, will the opposition leaders will not be inspired by them? Yes, certainly they will. And I do not question their inspiration. This is the Prerna Sthal that inspires people. And therefore, you can, if you need to protest, This is a place where you have all the icons of Indian history and the people who have contributed in making of this country so great. They will be at the same place. You still have the
Reshwatan
right to
Nigam, I think the contention is, I think the Congress is a little more peeved by the fact that there was no consultation mechanism followed. In fact, Jairam Ramesh says that there is a committee which looks into portraits and statues and their placement inside Parliament, and it has not met since December 18th of 2018. So, in fact, during the entire period of 17th Lok Sabha, the committee which is supposed to decide on these things never met. This was decided, I would not say arbitrarily, Deshratan Nigam. This was decided maybe as part of the larger redevelopment plan where the opposition was not consulted. So that's essentially what is making the Congress party so agitated.
Well, in fact, Abhishek, the speaker has made a very categorical statement that he had consulted various stakeholders, which means various political parties. Who are the stakeholders in Parliament? The various political parties, and he's making a statement, and that statement has not yet been refuted by anybody. That is one thing that nobody's saying that the speaker is lying or he's not speaking the truth. Nobody's saying so. He did consult and he's made a statement, and no objections probably came. There may be a procedure which is there, but there are ways the speaker talks to, cuts across the party line. People go to his chambers, he calls the opposition members to his chambers, they discuss. And tell me, what is wrong with this Prerna Sthal? It is, they said they want to protest. You have a right to protest here, where all leaders who have inspired generation after generation in this country are there. You have a right to protest. You go and protest out there. Nobody's taking away your right. The purpose is that the life of all the people, all great leaders should be available to the common masses, the visitors throughout the year, which it will be. And new technology is being used to give the message and the life stories of these people who will actually inspire the coming generations.
Let's go one by one. And let's go one by one. Let's go one by one, Deshratan Nigam, and look at the other objection. Objections raised essentially by the Congress party. So the other objection, Deshratan Nigam, is that since the distinctiveness of these statues is gone, so for example, when the parliamentarians wanted to protest, essentially they would go to the statue of Mahatma Gandhi. If they had to, if it was Ambedkar Jayanti, they would go to the statue of Bhimrao Ambedkar. Now every statue is at the same place. So for example, the sanctity or the dignity of the occasion of Ambedkar Jayanti gets compromised because all other stalwarts are also there, and then you are perhaps, according to the Congress contention, confused that you just pay respects to Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, or do you on that occasion also pay respect to the other stalwarts, freedom fighters, and of course our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, also there?
Well, Abhishek, I don't think this objection is either here or there. Now, if you have to go and give respect or homage to Bhimrao Ambedkarji, you go and garland that person. Or if you want to give it to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, then you go and garland that great personality. And therefore, to say that it gets diluted, I don't think so. In fact, it gets enhanced also. When the such icons are there at one place, you go there, you feel, I might be more inspired by, Mahatma Gandhi or Ambedkar. There may be people who will be more inspired by Chhatrapati Shivaji. Maybe some by Rani, Sahuji Maharaj or Maharaja Ranjit Singh or, Maharana Pratap. So you have everybody out there. And I cannot be saying that one's contribution is less than that of others. Everybody has contributed in this great nation, building of this great nation. And let's not do, cheap politics on it.
Okay, cheap politics jibe at Shyam Prasad Meka. Shyam Prasad Meka, essentially, the reason why perhaps Deshratan Nigam is saying that this is cheap politics is because this is not the first time the Congress party is protesting. We saw the way Congress protested the whole idea of a new parliament building. We saw the way Congress protested during the Sengol ceremony, boycotted it. The Congress boycotted the new parliament building, foundation laying, the Bhumi Pujan ceremony. The Congress boycotted the inauguration of the parliament building, the new building when it was inaugurated. The Congress protested against the Sengol ceremony. The Congress has effectively protested every move made by this government by the Modi government to infuse technology, to infuse modernism, to infuse stability. Remember, the old parliament structure is 100 years old, and the first time a decision was taken or a thought came up of having a new parliament building was at the time when Meera Kumar of the Congress party was the speaker. So obviously, it is habitual opposition that Congress party is indulging in and not substance.
So Abhishek, to be fair, I don't think Deshratan Nigamji took a jibe at me. He was continuing his speech and he just said cheap politics. I don't think he's taking a jibe at me or at Congress party. Well, let's leave that. See, you are eulogizing this as technology, modernization. That is all good, right? So, in fact, the idea of having a new parliament
used to eulogize modernism, technology, and that's why the Congress party so loves IITs and IIMs, right?
Correct. Wait. So having a new parliament or having an inspiring personalities statue, these things are bipartisan, right? So they go beyond the parties. Everybody would want. Everybody would appreciate that. So where the issue is, if you start doing stuff like having a Sengol, coming up with weird stories,
it's stuff like Sengol.
Yeah. I'm very responsibly using that term, right? So it's a symbol of monarchical power, and we don't agree with such things in the Republic of India. It's as simple as that.
You don't see divine inspiration in Sengol? You don't see rule of law in Sengol?
Where is the divine inspiration? It's a monarchical sign. Power transfer from one
I think it was not
other.
monarchical. It was the seat of divine handing over rule of law symbolically to the monarchy to remember that they are also not above law.
The people of India gave ourselves to this constitution. There is no divine power which gave us the constitution. There is no Raja. There is no priest that gave us the Republic of India.
Okay.
It is we the people.
So we erased all history, culture, civilization with that stroke of midnight hour?
No, with the advent of the Republic of India, the Rajas and the divine powers, the priests, priestly power, everything is gone in one shot. This is the Republic of India, which includes the great heritage and culture and the history of this country.
Deshratan Nigam.
Not any divine power.
Deshratan Nigam. For the Congress party, what is more important is the republicanism that we have in the modern era. If you draw inspiration from your past, that's not inspiring. That's not something we should be doing.
Well, Abhishek, past, present, and future, they are in a continuum. If you strike at the past, you break that continuum and you are cut away from your roots. You cannot forget your civilizational values and symbols, and Sengol represents one of them. Now, if the Congress is so clearly interested that they are so much against monarchy, I'm sure that corollary can be drawn to that dynastic entitlement, that only the Sonia ji is entitled, or Priyanka ji is only entitled, or Rahul Gandhi is only entitled. Do away your dynastic entitlement. Then I will agree with you on monarchy.
They are winning the elections, right?
So therefore, let's not have that dynastic entitlement kind of a thing debate out here.
Where is the entitlement there?
It was rule of law.
Where is the entitlement? Rahul Gandhi lost the election. Won the election.
We are focusing, Mr. Demeka, on rule of law, how it has to be upheld by everyone. That is the Sengol represents. Please understand, you are missing the focus. You are concentrating on the
okay.
Not on the message,
I'm
not
told.
on the messenger.
Okay, I'm told we have run out of time. I would have continued this conversation for a little longer, but I think what is important is that this is part of a larger redevelopment project that's been going on, and every stage we have seen the opposition throwing a spanner in the works. Thank you so much, Shyam Prasad Meka and Deshratan Nigam. The fact of the matter is that with all the opposition wanting to protest at the Mahatma Gandhi statue, this time if they do it, every time there would be B.R. Ambedkar looking over it and asking them, is this right? Would you want to go back? Perhaps that's the reason why opposition is little miffed. On that note, thank you so much, friends. We move on, short break. I've breaking across the Republic, in fact, is back on the other side.
चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
With over 1,12,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Welcome back. Yesterday, in a press conference that was organized by the Safe Culture Save Bharat Foundation, flagging the provoking adult nature of everyday content on OTT platforms, the foundation presented evidence that X and Netflix have become platforms for broadcasting pornographic, sexually explicit and obscene content across India in violation of laws like the POCSO Act. Justice S.N. Dhingra has reacted to the same. Listen in.
See, I consider that complete ban is not a solution, feasible solution. It is just like that because a knife can also be used for murder. You ban the production of knife altogether and ban the use of knife. That is not a solution. I consider that there should be strict laws for these media platforms, Netflix, X and other platforms, where these type of contents are uploaded are shown. Recently, I was reading that health advisor to the US government, Mr. Murthy, he has advocated that the children should be kept away from these X and other platforms, at least. And in some, countries, the cell phone, use of cell phone for the children has been banned. And up to they have fixed age limit that up to this age, they should not use. 53 of IPC is there.
What is the legal way forward? How do you see this thing moving forward in the direction?
I think courts must rise to this situation. If some judges feel that they have a right to see porn, they may see porn, but they should not thrust upon this on the society. This is what the courts are doing. That this Udta Punjab was a film in which the court said, there was explicit abuses and the language was so filthy language used. Court said, if you don't want to hear, don't see the film. Can this argument be given to the court? That if you don't want to have contempt, don't read the contemptuous articles, don't read the contemptuous words spoken by people. This is no argument. That if you don't want to, if your feelings are against these abuses, don't see the film. That is no argument. And I consider the courts and judges must rise to the problem and must come forward with some ban, some kind of discipline on these platforms, so that these platforms do not spoil our next generation.
Renuka Swami murder case gets murkier by the day. More skeletons tumble out of the Renuka Swami murder case. Chilling details have emerged in the post-mortem report. So how was he murdered? We'll tell you all the details at 6 p.m. on Across the Republic with me, Deepak.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं, ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करें फ्री में पैसाबाजार.com पर। लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
ठीक से एक्टिंग नहीं।
पैसाबाजार.com।
चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
With over 1,12,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth. Over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
With over 1,12,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth. Over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
चल हो जा शुरू
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे
Jagan's 500 crore extravagance. Taxpayers' money splurged. Republic exposes Jagan's palace on hills.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Investigation into Renuka Swami murder picks pace. Victim was tortured, given electric shocks. More sections added in the FIR. Daughter of YSRCP Rajya Sabha MP mows down man with her BMW. Daughter arrested, later granted bail. Big focus on Jagan's mega home splurge. TDP says 1.2 crore was sanctioned. YSRCP denies charge. US delegation comprising of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi meets Tibetan spiritual guru. Dalai Lama in Dharamshala calls on China to resolve issue with Tibet. Back-to-back incidents of food horror. Customers find eerie finger, scary snake and a mouse in their daily products. A very good evening, viewers. You're watching Across the Republic with me, Deepak Suresh Kumar. First up, let's talk about the Renuka Swami murder case, because the investigation into this high-profile murder case has now revealed gory details of how he was murdered, and before that, how he was tortured by giving electric shocks, and also the theft after killing him. We'll get you all those details in this report.
As investigation into the Renuka Swami murder case intensifies, more details are coming to light. Investigations reveal Renuka Swami was brutally tortured before being murdered. His post-mortem report mentions hemorrhage shock as a result of multiple blunt injuries. Renuka Swami was subjected to electric shocks and beaten with wooden clubs. Renuka Swami's body was recovered in Sumannahalli on June 9th. Cops found 2 cars while examining the CCTV footage. The movement of car was tracked till Raja Rajeshwari Nagar by the cops. A day later, 4 individuals surrendered and confessed to the crime, while naming actor Darshan and Pavitra Gowda. A bribe angle was also exposed. Bribe was given to hide Darshan's name in the murder. As per the accused, Renuka Swami sent obscene messages to Pavitra Gowda. This angered Darshan and he decided to get Renuka Swami killed. Renuka Swami was kidnapped from Chitradurga on June 8th and brought to Bengaluru, where he was tortured and eventually killed. Key evidences in the case have been gathered and investigation is picking pace. This includes blood stain samples, CCTV footages, the victim's clothes and hair strands. Initially, when the FIR was registered at Kamakshi Palya police station, it was filed under IPC section 302 and 201. But later, more IPC sections were added. Actor Darshan, Pavitra Gowda and others have been arrested. But will justice be served?
Let's now talk about what's happening in Chennai, because another Pune-like hit-and-run case was witnessed in Chennai. A 22-year-old man named Surya was allegedly killed after he was run over by Bida Madhuri, who is the daughter of a YSRCP Rajya Sabha MP, while he was sleeping on a pavement. And Madhuri was arrested on charges of causing death due to negligence, but subsequently she was also granted bail. Now note, this is the first of many hit-and-run cases that have sent shockwaves across the country. And recently as well, in Pune, we saw how the VVIP killer brat was also shielded by not only his family but also the system. Here's a similar story.
This is the video making rounds on social media. A woman is seen arguing with an agitated crowd. In the wee hours of Tuesday, a 22-year-old Surya was sleeping on a pavement in Chennai. He was killed after the daughter of YSRCP Rajya Sabha MP Bida Masthan Rao allegedly ran her BMW over him. The police rushed to the spot and arrested Bida Madhuri on charges of causing death due to negligence. However, she was granted bail. And here is her friend, who is seen engaged in fierce arguments. Remember, this is the first of many cases that has emerged recently. The Pune Porsche murder that claimed the lives of 2 youngsters at the hands of a VVIP super brat opened a can of worms. Today, a luxury Mercedes car ran over a courier boy at Golf Club Chowk in Pune. The courier boy, unable to control his bike, first falls down in the middle of a busy road and moments later is crushed by this black supercar. With the lives of innocent people on the line, can there really be further delay in stringent action against reckless driving?
Now moving on, a case of racketeering and sexual harassment has also come to light in Bihar's Muzaffarpur. At least 200 to 250 young women were allegedly lured on the pretext of being offered a job, and they were sexually exploited while being held captive under the pretext of job opportunities. While the main accused has been arrested, the horrifying allegations have now sent shockwaves across the nation. Here's the story.
71 kilometers away from Bihar's capital city, In Muzaffarpur, a shocking case of racketeering and sexual harassment has come to light. A survivor's testimony has blown the lid off a mega jobs racket. At least 200 to 250 women were lured under the pretext of job opportunities, held captive and sexually assaulted in Muzaffarpur. The accused contacted the women via social media and provided training to make fraudulent calls. The women were assaulted and sexually abused if they failed to meet the targets. A woman somehow managed to escape captivity but was forced to take shelter in Muzaffarpur-based court.